Hello and welcome to our live telephone town hall meeting today with the City of Gainesville and Gainesville residents. Thanks so much for joining us for this live teletown hall. We're dialing out to 36,000 Gainesville households right now. We appreciate your patience. We'll be done in just a moment. We will be joined in a moment by Mayor Lauren Poe and community leaders. They're here to provide updates and answer your questions. So as you listen, think about questions that you'd like to submit for live Q&A, then just press 0 as soon as you have a question to submit. Again, press 0 to submit a question for Q&A. You can either ask your question live, or you can let your operator know when you press 0 that you want me to read your question over the air. Whatever's more comfortable for you. Either way, we will start Q&A in a few minutes here with Mayor Poe and with community leaders here to answer your question. So press 0 anytime to submit a question. You can also press 7 to register for email updates from the City of Gainesville. Again, press 7 to register for email updates from the city. You'll get the GNV news, and that'll be your opportunity to be kept updated on everything that's happening regarding COVID-19 and stopping the spread in the community. So again, press 0 to submit a question, press 7 if you'd like to get email updates from the City of Gainesville moving forward. It's my pleasure to kick off this live teletown hall by turning it over to Gainesville Mayor Lauren Poe. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for tonight's telephone town hall. I'm Gainesville Mayor Lauren Poe, and I'm pleased community leaders are joining me this evening to update you about work in our community to stop the spread of COVID-19. Up first, I'd like to recognize and invite the Superintendent of Alachua County Public Schools, Karen Clark, to say a few words. Unfortunately, Karen is suffering from some laryngitis and will not be able to stay with us all night, but she did want to greet our community and share a few thoughts with us. So Karen, thank you so much for joining us, and take it away.
Thank you, Mayor Poe. I appreciate the opportunity. I'll be brief. I first want to thank the community for wrapping their arms around 29,000 students over the past couple of weeks. So many in our community have stepped up to help feed our children and have offered in numerous ways as to how we can help support our families. So I just wanted to publicly thank the city, the county, and other organizations for the support you've given to our schools this week. We are all still adjusting to our new way of work and our new way of learning. I have 2 senior staff members on the phone this evening that can help answer your questions. My apologies that I can't answer them myself. I don't know that my voice would hold out. But again, we appreciate the opportunity to be able to call this evening and look forward to answering any questions that the community may have. Thank you, Mayor Poe.
Thank you, Superintendent Clark. We hope you feel better soon, and thank you for your leadership during this difficult time. Before we start taking some calls, I have a few updates and reminders. We are live streaming on Facebook and broadcasting on Cox Cable Channel 12 right now, and this telephone town hall will be archived online at cityofgainesville.org. We also want to note that today is Census Day. The COVID-19 pandemic has created a lot of changes in all of our lives, but one thing that hasn't changed is the need for all of us to fill out the 2020 census. You can complete our census without having to leave your home. A big part of our recovery process will be letting the federal government know just how many folks live in Alachua County. So if you have not already done so, please take your census today. Go to 2020census.gov or call 844-330-2020. I did mine today. It took me about 4 minutes, and I had a great patriotic feeling when I got done. So I hope everybody, if you haven't already done so, can go take care of that. We wanted to let our neighbors know that there is a telephone and email scam going around. People who are claiming to be from the Internal Revenue Service or our IRS are contacting people about where they can deposit their $1,200 stimulus check that will be arriving shortly from the federal government stimulus package. The IRS does not call individual homes. If you have any questions or are concerned at all, please contact the IRS or the city or county, and we'll help you verify whether it's legitimate or not. But we just want to let you know there is an IRS scam, people pretending to be the IRS, trying to intercept people's recovery checks, and that is not legitimate. I know that many of you have questions about the difference between the Alachua County emergency order and the new emergency order issued today by Governor DeSantis. First of all, we'd like to thank the governor for taking this action. It is very much appreciated, and we know that this will help slow the spread of COVID-19 and help flatten the curve. But I did want to ask County Commission Chair Robert Hutchinson to talk about maybe some of the differences between the two orders and how that might affect the lives of our residents here on a daily basis in Alachua County. Hutch?
Thank you very much, and again, we appreciate the governor stepping up and basically doing the stay-at-home order, which we've had in Alachua County for almost 2 weeks now. People here have gotten used to it to a great extent, and we certainly appreciate all the cooperation and the sacrifice that it means. The difference between the stay-at-home orders is right now being analyzed by our legal staff. The primary thing to know about the state's order is it says that it takes precedence over any local regulations where the local regulations would open a business that the state closes. And as far as we can tell, that has not happened at all. So for all practical purposes, what's going on in the Alachua County stay-at-home emergency order is equivalent to the state stay-at-home emergency order. But with that said, we're going to be revising and updating our emergency order to bring it into complete compliance wherever possible with the state order to reduce confusion, because we know one of the reasons why it makes sense to have a statewide order is for those businesses that operate across county lines and across jurisdictional lines of all types to have a more uniform set of rules. And so we appreciate the fact that the governor did this, and we're going to be working with the entire state to make sure that essential businesses stay open and non-essential businesses have their employees and customers staying at home. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Hutch. So life will continue as it has over the last week and a half here in Gainesville and Alachua County, and we will keep everyone posted if there are any changes. I'd now like to recognize our city manager, Lee Feldman. We've gotten many questions from our last town hall meeting as well as throughout the week about the safety of our first responders, our Gainesville Police Department officers, our EMT and firefighters, and also just some questions about what's going on with crime in Gainesville, and then I'll come back with some assistance on anybody that has some issues with domestic violence, if somebody you know is a victim of domestic violence, where they might be able to seek help. So Lee, just about the safety of our first responders, and then what's been the general trend towards crime over the last week and a half or so.
Thank you, Mayor. So our first responders, public safety first responders, and we have other first responders in public works and RTS as well, but our public safety first responders are practicing social distancing and are wearing their protective personal equipment when necessary to engage our neighbors. What we're finding right now is that our call load is down. A lot of that is because our neighbors are adhering to the county order to stay at home and to minimize their travel and only traveling for essential business. So a lot of our routine calls have diminished. But 911 is active and we're ready to respond for any emergency situation. Keep in mind though that when we do respond, we will be practicing our social distancing with you, our neighbors, as well. So police officers may ask you to come outside. They will keep their distance from you. It's not that they don't respect you or are trying to be aloof, but they want to also practice the social distancing both for your safety and theirs as well. We also would like to encourage you to use our online reporting portal, which you can find at GainesvillePD.org. That will allow you to report incidents where police officers don't actually need to come out to your property. So if you have something that you need to report that doesn't require a police officer to come out, we encourage you to use GainesvillePD.org and the online reporting. And we also encourage you to continue to practice all social distancing, and that means don't congregate in groups of 10 or more. If a law enforcement officer sees you in a crowd of 10 or more, they will ask you to disperse and to go back home. So Mayor, we're very happy with the cooperation of our neighbors, and we are there for them if they need us.
Yeah, thank you, City Manager Lee Feldman, and thank you all in our community for helping make the jobs of our law enforcement officers and other first responders a little bit easier through this crisis. For people concerned about domestic violence, you can always call 211. That number will connect people with any and all social service needs that they have. So if you're not really sure who to call, 211 is a great starting place. You can also call Peaceful Paths, our domestic violence service agency. Their number is 352-377-8255. Again, 352-377-8255. And they will be able to provide direct assistance for people that are suffering from domestic violence or know somebody who is. Next, we've had some updates on the Gainesville Regional Utilities front, both in cutoffs and disconnections, late fees, as well as being able to lower people's bills. And so I'd like to turn it over to Ed Bolarski really quickly to just give us the latest on GRU's front.
Thank you, Mayor. GRU has recognized the issues associated with COVID-19 and the problems it imposes on some of our customers. So we have suspended disconnects through May 15th. Along with that, we've waived the late fees associated with late payments through that date, and we are well aware that we're going to have to work with some customers as this progresses, and we're ready, willing, and able to talk to customers. You can call our lobby. You can call our customer service group. Our drive-in is still open, so that you can come there and practice your social distancing and deal with a representative there as well.
Great, thank you. That was Ed Bolarski with Gainesville Regional Utilities, the General Manager for Gainesville Regional Utilities. So let's get to some calls tonight. With us, we have, you already met City Manager Lee Feldman, Chair of the County Commission Hutch Hutchinson, General Manager of GRU Ed Bolarski. We also have from the Alachua County Public Schools, Jenny Wise, who's the Executive Director for Curriculum at the School Board of Alachua County, and Jackie Johnson, Director of Communications at the School Board of Alachua County. If you're watching on Facebook or Cox Cable Channel 12 and have a question for us tonight, please dial in at 888-410-3427. We invite our Spanish speakers to call 844-881-1317. Let's go ahead and get started with our first question.
Sure thing. Thank you, Mayor Powell. Thank you, everybody who's joined us for this live teletown call today. Again, you can press 0 to submit a question of your own. We also want to get you email updates. If you'd like to get email updates from the City of Gainesville and you're not already getting those, you can get them by pressing 7 on your phone. Again, 7 on your phone, and you'll get the GNV News e-newsletter. We'd like to keep you as updated as possible with accurate information moving forward. So again, press 7 if you'd like to give us your email address to get updates from the city. Our first question is coming from Elaine, and she did press 0 and submitted a question, but then asked me to read the question over the air, which is more than fine. If you're pressing 0 and submitting a question, you can let your operator know that you want me to read it, and I'm happy to do that. This is from Elaine asking, regarding low-income families, what is being done for children who do not have equipment at home to receive their education? Mayor Pope?
Great, yeah, that's a question that we've been getting a lot of inquiries about, and so I'm going to ask Jackie Johnson from Alachua County Public Schools to field that one. Jackie?
Absolutely. We have somewhere in the neighborhood right now of about 4,000 devices. We're essentially clearing out our schools and district offices so that we can make those devices available to families. We have additional devices on order. Keep in mind, however, we are competing with just about every other school district in the country for those devices, so we expect that'll take about 3 weeks or so. And what has been happening over the last couple of days and will continue over the next couple of days is that teachers and other school staff are communicating directly with families to provide them with guidance on how to function in this new remote learning environment that we're in, and also talk to them about some special needs that they may have, including devices. So those are the conversations that are having now, and some schools have actually already started lending out devices to families, and that will continue over the next few days.
Thanks. That's Jackie Johnson, Director of Communications from the Alachua County Public Schools. And so, Jackie, just if I don't want to put words in your mouth, but if I can just summarize that, the first point of contact for any families that have device needs or any other kind of needs regarding their child's learning should be their teacher, and then their teacher can figure out how to try to get them in the queue for a device or for other supported materials.
That's exactly the case. Our teachers in our schools, they are the ones who know our students and families best, so they are in the best position to be able to provide assistance. For some families, it may be a device. For other families, it may be hard copy packets, and we've been giving out thousands of those in the last couple of days. So parents are certainly jumping on the opportunity to do that. Now, of course, the other parallel issue is the issue of internet access. We know that there are a lot of families that don't have access to the internet. In some cases, that's a socioeconomic issue. In other cases, it's simply geography. They live in an area that doesn't have good access. So we are looking at all options, what we can do to provide support for families in that area. We have also provided information and will continue to provide information to families on some opportunities that are being provided, for example, by Cox Communications for 2 free months of internet service, and AT&T also providing 2 free months of internet service. So, but we are looking at some other ways that we can provide service, internet service to the many families who do not have it. Whether or not we'll be able to reach all of them, chances are no, that's just not going to be possible. We are a far-flung district, and we have just a lot of areas that geographically are not conducive to internet access, but we are exploring a number of options to try to make that happen.
Excellent. Thank you, Jackie. And I know that our teachers in Alachua County will do everything they possibly can to accommodate every student and every family. So it's just so important that you reach out directly with your teacher, let your teacher know what your family's needs are so that they can work on those specific issues with you. Okay, next question, please.
Sure thing. Next one coming from Karen. Karen, you're up. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. My question is, for those people who are uninsured or underinsured, maybe you're still in their high deductible range and don't have the income, is there anywhere to be seen and tested, especially symptomatic people specifically?
Sure. Yeah, Karen, thank you. Absolutely. The Alachua County Health Department, you do not need insurance to go there, especially if you are symptomatic or in one of those high-risk categories. You have autoimmune challenges. Go to the Alachua County Health Department. I would recommend calling first just to let them know you're coming. But they do not check insurance, take insurance, and they will give you an examination and then recommend testing. And then if, just like if a primary care physician recommends testing, if the health department does, you will be eligible for testing as well, and they'll help you get your appointment and take you through this process of doing that. So please don't let a lack of insurance be a barrier to being seen by a physician, and then ultimately if you qualify and are symptomatic, getting tested. They will assist you with all of those things.
Good, thank you so much. And great question, Karen. Thank you for asking it. Let's get to our next one right away. We've got Regine on the line. Regine, you're live. Go ahead.
Hi. I just had a question regarding childcare because, I work in a childcare facility, and my concerns are maybe why are we the only work is still open. You know, schools is closed, public schools, colleges, but childcare is still open. We as staff, we're, you know, afraid of catching the coronavirus because children can bring it in from families. You know, adults are in contact with other adults, and now, as we know, children also can catch the virus.
Yeah, we have with us to answer that question, Regina. That's an important question. County Commission Chair Robert Hutchinson.
Well, first, we consider child care workers to be essential workers. And you're essential because without the work that you do, many first responders, many medical professionals would not be able to go to work. But we want you to be safe in every possible way. So we hope that if you need personal protective equipment, that your employer is providing that. It is now illegal in Alachua County for any employer to deny somebody the right to use personal protective equipment. We heard where, particularly in retail establishments, but in others as well, that employees were not allowed to wear masks or gloves, even if they brought them themselves. Well, that's no longer the case. Everybody can wear equipment if they've got it. Of course, I'm sure you know about all the hygiene and sanitation that you have to abide by. And I can just tell you, you're in a tough situation because your work is essential. We want you to continue to work and feel like you are part of the solution that helps first responders and medical professionals continue to do their job. But if you have any doubts about the safety of your workplace, Alachua County has an anonymous line that you can call. It's on the Alachua County website, and you can call in and explain what the situation is, and we'll have a codes enforcement officer or the appropriate agency look into the complaint, and it's completely anonymous. So thank you for that call, and stay safe.
Thank you so much for the answer. All right, we've got a quick public service announcement before we get our next question in from Jim. So I'll go ahead and read this, then we'll read Jim's question as his preference. The City of Gainesville and Alachua County invite you to check out the new online COVID-19 community resource portal. Those willing individuals who are willing and able to volunteer, as well as those in need of assistance, can connect through this new resource. You can find a direct link to the portal at the Alachua County website at alachuacounty.us, alachuacounty.us, to visit the new online COVID-19 community resource portal. Thanks for that. Let's get to our next question. This one's coming in from Jim, who's asking, how can we get food service for the disabled? He is 48 and blind. Mayor Poe?
Okay, food service for the disabled, that's a good question. We have many organizations that are working on food distribution and delivery, and certainly our neighbors with disabilities are a high priority. Commissioner Hutchinson, do you have some information about that?
Yeah, what the county is doing is we're repurposing a number of employees who will be in the food delivery service for people that are staying at home either because they have a disability or because they are exposed and don't want to go out, or because they have a pre-existing condition that makes them want to shelter in place. It's not completely organized yet, but we will be doing that food distribution, I think, for a pretty long time until vaccines are available. The mayors in each of the municipalities that surround Gainesville are also organizing the effort within their jurisdictions. So if you're in Newberry or Hawthorne or any of the surrounding cities, call City Hall and explain your situation, and they will be coordinating the efforts within their communities. Right now, my best suggestion would be to dial 311, which is our community portal, and talk to somebody or leave a message that explains your situation, and we will attempt to respond as quickly as possible. We are getting food shipments in from emergency supplies that the state has, and of course we've got a number of food banks and local charities that are also helping. There are some other food distribution opportunities, including some with farmers markets and nobody should be without food at a time like this. So please call 311 if you're worried about feeding yourself or your family.
Thanks so much for that answer, and thank you, Jim, for the question. Get our next one up, coming live from Deborah. Hey, Deborah, you're up. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Deborah, and I have a question about all of the construction workers that are building houses in my area. Are they considered essential workers? Is that safe?
Sure, good question. We have gotten many concerns about our construction workers. I don't know, Hutch or Lee, do you want that in the latest emergency order?
Initially, the emergency order, we had shut down construction, and the construction industry responded with a set of guidelines that we believed allowed us to go forward. In the state order, they're allowed to go forward as well. And among the things that it requires is, of course, social distancing, wearing of personal protective gear, cleaning of bathrooms and porta potties that are on the site more frequently, and a number of other best practices that are being incorporated. Now, if there's a construction worker who believes they're working in unsafe conditions, then they also need to dial 311 and report that situation anonymously, because our codes enforcement workers can go out to the site, and if they witness something that's unsafe, they can shut the job down. And that is the sort of ultimate penalty for some of these construction sites, not a small fine or citation, but the fact that we can shut the site down and send them home. So we so far have not had to do that because we are mostly in the education mode right now, and the construction industry in general has done a good job of responding with sets of guidelines that we believe do make sense.
This is Mayor Pogan. This is a recurring theme. If you feel that you are working in an unsafe environment, or if your employer is not allowing you to be safe, for example, wearing a mask if you so choose, or gloves or other protective gear, please call that 311 number, and we will, whether it's in the city or the county, we'll send somebody out to look at that, and if there is a violation, then we'll make sure it gets corrected. We want everybody that has to work right now to be working in a safe environment. So again, call that 311 number, and we will follow up as quickly as possible.
Thanks so much, Mayor, and thank you for that question. Appreciate it. Let's get one in from Fred live next. Fred, thanks for waiting. You're up.
My question is two-part. One, I watch the news religiously, and they always give a count of how many people have the virus. Last time I heard it was 82. Two, that number, how will it go down when the people have gone their 14-day free period or have passed away?
I can answer that.
Sure. Commissioner Hutchinson from Lashes County Commission.
So those sort of top-line numbers that you're seeing in some ways aren't the most useful indicator of what's going on for the reasons you state and others. If you dive deeper into the state's statistics, which you can find at the Florida COVID dashboard online, and kind of dive down deeper, you can see that they are keeping track of a lot more statistics than that, and including the number of people who have recovered. And so the top line number is the people who have been diagnosed with, tested positive with coronavirus, but we know that number vastly understates the number of folks who are actually infected. And we're telling people, if you have any of the symptoms, that you should be self-isolating. And the fact is, for most people who get it, whether they're tested or not, they're given the same treatment. Go home, self-isolate, and then all the things they want you to do in terms of plenty of fluids and bed rest and good food and all of that. So the top line number is just the total number who have been tested positive, and it means nothing more than that. And frankly, that's not the number that I think is important. I think the most important number is the number of hospitalizations and the current number of hospitalizations, because that tells us whether our healthcare system is capable of handling the situation that we're in right now.
Mayor, also, you can find all that information on our city's webpage, where we have a constantly updated dashboard.
Yeah, thank you. City Manager Lee Feldman, and that you can find that dashboard on the city and the county webpage. The latest, as of 30 seconds ago, is 87 that have 92. Okay, 92 that have tested positive. Yeah, again, we're confident that that number is quite low. But I think this is a good opportunity to remind people that the only way we get back to some semblance of a normal life and are able to really move about freely and get back to business is when we start seeing those numbers steadily tracking downward. As long as they're going up, then the only way to curb that is by isolation and social distancing. And so the sooner we can all stay home and stop the spread, the sooner we can get everybody back into school, back at their businesses, and helping everybody recover. So that's the most important thing that we can take away from whatever that number is. Is it going down steadily, or is it continuing to rise? Next question, please.
Sure thing. Thank you again, Mayor Powell and Commissioner Hutchinson. We'll get our next one in from Gary, but if you have a question you'd like to submit and you haven't already gotten a chance, you can press 0. We've got lots of good questions in the queue. We'll be taking them for the next half hour, about halfway through our hour-long forum right now. And if you want to get email updates, we had a big response to that. Press 7 last time. We just cleared that queue, so if you haven't had a chance to press 7 to get email updates from the City of Gainesville, you can do that now. Press 7, give us your email address, and we'll keep you updated in the future. Again, press 7 to get email updates from the city. Let's get our next one up right away from Gary. Hey, Gary.
Yes, hi, I'm just wondering what's going to happen for people that can't make their rent payments.
Yeah, so that's a very common question, a huge concern now that it's April 1st. So the first thing we recommend is that every person who is unable to make their rent payments because of loss of employment or any other reason, contact your landlord, let them know your situation, try to work out some sort of payment plan or forgiveness, pay what you can. The vast majority of our landlords in Gainesville and Alachua County have no interest in putting people out on the street, and that benefits nobody. If you have one of those landlords that doesn't have a gracious heart and an ounce of kindness in them, it will be a very long time before they're able to process evictions. The courts have stopped processing civil cases completely. The only cases the courts are processing right now are first appearances, protective orders, and
Bond
reductions to try to get people out of the jail. And so they're not processing any civil actions right now, and evictions are a civil action. And so it will be realistically months before any landlord could effectively process an eviction. In the meantime, people will start to get their support checks from the federal government, and that should help bridge people between today and when things start returning to normal. And finally, I have asked our policy analyst with the City of Gainesville to work with our charter officers to bring back to the commission a set of recommendations on how the city can use resources that we have in connection with state and federal assistance to try to help both individuals and businesses out that are suffering and potentially being displaced or in jeopardy of losing their business because of this pandemic. So we're working on some local solutions to that. We do not have the significant amount of resources that the federal and state governments have, but we do want to work closely with them so we can amplify whatever relief packages come from them. And so again, right now, please just reach out to your landlord. Every single person in our country is facing the same dilemma, and I think that we would like to know about the landlords who are being unforgiving, and we'll try to reach out and talk to those people one-on-one instead of assuming that everybody is going to show the sort of devils of their nature and put people out on the street, or try to put people out on the street during their most vulnerable time.
Thank you, Mayor. Great question. Really appreciate you asking that. Let's get one up right away from our Spanish simulcaster broadcasting this event in Spanish as well. And Justina, who's listening to that simulcast, says, I got to Gainesville just a week ago. I'd like to put my kids in school so they can get study materials and lunch. I work picking blueberries, so I'm not able to watch them at home. I'd like to know if I can put them in school and who could help me out with that. Mayor, that's from Justina.
Yeah, Justina, you're in a difficult situation because the schools are closed right now. But maybe Jackie or Jenny, you might have some resources or some suggestions of what a parent might be able to do if they're working and cannot stay home and would normally have the schools as somewhere where their child could go and be safe. Jackie or Jenny, do we have you there? Yeah.
Yes, Mayor Poe. This is Jenny Wise. And Jackie, I appreciate the question and understand how challenging that must be for you. And what I would say to you is that you can certainly contact the school that your child or children are zoned to, and we would enroll your students and provide materials for you to help with instruction. But unfortunately, our schools are closed in terms of providing a place for them to be while you are at work. So if you're unsure where your children go to school, you can call the switchboard at the Alachua County Public Schools, and we will refer you to the zoning office and help you know which school to contact. And of course, we will always have translators available to help with that as well.
Thank
Do you happen to have that phone number handy?
The switchboard phone number?
Yes. That number is, go ahead, Jackie.
That number is 352-955-7300.
And, unfortunately for parents, hardworking parents that usually depend on our schools to keep their children both safe and educated, this is especially tough. And my understanding, I believe, is that schools are going to be closed at least until May 4th, barring any further extension. And so we know that we've got more than a month here for folks to have to figure out what to do. Justine, I feel for you, but at least reach out to the schools, make a connection with your child's what will be their new school, and make connection with a teacher who can get some support materials for you and at least help your child get transitioned and acclimated to their new school in Alachua County here.
And if I could also interject that we do want, Justina's children would certainly be eligible for our free meals program, whether or not they're enrolled in the school system. Our Food and Nutrition Services Department is providing free lunch and free breakfast to any child, 0 to 18. They don't have to be enrolled in one of our schools. They can go to any one of the 76 sites that we have set up around the county, get a free lunch for that day, a free breakfast for the next morning. We also applied to the federal government to be able to serve children meals for over the weekend. So on Fridays, starting this Friday, we'll actually be providing children with meals that they can take home and have over the weekend. So certainly we would encourage Justina or any other family to take advantage of that program. They do not have to be enrolled in any one of our schools, any particular program. And today, in fact, we distributed 17,600 meals throughout the county. So clearly the need is there.
Excellent. Thank you for that reminder. And if you want to know where the closest location to your home is, or what the process for being able to access that excellent program, just go to the county's COVID site. The portal has all the information you need about anything related to the COVID-19 pandemic, including the school lunch and breakfast distribution sites.
Thank you so much again. Great answers, and really appreciate your question, Justina. And just in case our Spanish interpreters didn't get a chance to translate that number, I'm going to read it one more time for them. Again, that's Alachua County Schools at 352-955-7300. We've got our next one coming live from Richard. Oh, quickly, before we take Richard, remember you can press 0 to submit a question, 7 to get email updates. Those queues are empty right now. If you'd like to get in and submit a question or your email for updates, 0 for questions, 7 for email updates. Hey, Richard, thanks. Go ahead.
Hey, yeah, I'm wondering about the restaurants and how they were doing the to-go orders, not the interior orders, but to-go orders. Are they still allowed to show up for work?
Yeah, we have County Commission Chair Robert Hutchinson on the county's emergency order regarding restaurants.
Yeah, restaurants are encouraged to stay open, but providing either delivery or orders to pick up. And what we've seen is an incredible resurgence of restaurant business. So we hope that you will continue to patronize your restaurants. And the other thing you can do is you can buy gift certificates for future meals, and that helps them keep their payroll going, and essentially you're giving them a zero interest loan to help them stay in business. So restaurants are still open that are able to provide takeout or delivery, and we hope you will patronize them.
Great, thank you so much. Excellent question. Thank you very much for that one. Let's get this next one up from Norma. And Norma does want to go live. Let's go ahead and bring her up. Hey, Norma, thanks for waiting.
You're welcome. I was wondering if the pharmacies and supermarkets have received the order saying that they may not forbid their workers from wearing masks and gloves, particularly the cashiers and the baggers. Also, I was wondering about that 14-day isolation. Is there any way to know whether people are really staying in for that 14 days or whether they're coming out earlier?
Yeah, for the 14-day isolation, that typically they're being asked to self-quarantine. It's difficult to enforce that, but I think when those people are identified, they're told how critical it is, not just for other people's health, but their own health, that they stay isolated and go into recovery. But I think Commissioner Hutchinson made clear earlier that it is illegal for any employer in Alachua County now to prevent their employees from wearing protective gear, including masks, gloves, or whatever else they feel that they need to be safe. I would encourage people to look up best practices for how to wear that personal protective equipment. There are right ways and wrong ways to wear it, ways that you can make yourself feel safe but actually not be protected. So we just encourage people to do that. But Hutch, I believe I'm correct in interpreting what you said earlier, that yeah, every single employee has the right to wear personal protective gear at their place of employment, including in pharmacies and supermarkets.
Thank you again, Mayor, and great question. Getting some great questions here today. Thank you for that one from Norma. Next one's in from Janine. Hey, Janine, you're live.
Oh, hi. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm sorry, I just losing my voice a little. My daughter is a student at UF, and they told her she had to get out, so she left a bunch of stuff in her room at the sorority house, and I said, just take all your stuff, and then we'll go back and get it. But now, with the order, are we allowed to go back to get her stuff, or?
Yes, you are. Yes, that's, we're not requiring people be locked down at all times. That would be considered an essential trip, and just be safe when you do it.
Yeah, just be really careful. Try to go when not a lot of other people are going to be around if that's possible. Call ahead. Just practice great hygiene. That's the whole point is to minimize contact, and so when you do that, if you can just do everything you can to not come in contact with other people and get your daughter's stuff back home, that's going to be best for everybody.
Thank you again. Great question, Janine. Next one's coming up from Charles. Charles,
good evening. This is my question. Will there be any options for school bus drivers this summer to earn extra income? If not, will you guys provide, or are there any plans to provide assistance to them for the summer? Thank you.
I'm going to turn that over to Jackie Johnson with the Alachua County Public Schools. I think you heard it, Jackie, but any plans to give some routes to school bus drivers this summer, or some sort of bridge payment plan to keep them whole as they go through these lean times?
Well, actually, we are continuing to pay all of our employees, and that continues. That includes bus drivers. So that is not changing. Nobody is losing any salary because schools are closed. And in fact, we are right now using bus drivers who are helping us distribute food, because some of our meal distribution sites are actually on bus stops. One of the options that we're looking at is using our buses as essentially as mobile hotspots. So that's something that we're working on, and we need more bus drivers for that. We do employ some bus drivers over a typical summer for things like our third grade reading camps, for example. Not all of them, definitely a smaller number of bus drivers that we typically use over the summer. And, depending on the course of COVID, we'll have to see whether or not our summer programs will continue. But no employees are losing pay because of COVID. We are continuing to pay our employees.
That's great to hear. Thank you, Jackie Johnson with the Alachua County Public Schools. And that is also true for county and city employees. We have all had to work on sort of repurposing our employees' work mission. I know that the city manager has been working on some of our parks and recreation employees who usually would be out in the field and at parks helping assist our neighbors, start to make contact with some of our elderly residents or other neighbors who are homebound and maybe don't have family there, to make sure that they're okay, see if there's anything they need, just reassure them that their city cares about them and is here to assist them. And so the job that people had 4 weeks ago might be a little different than the job they have today, but we, the county, the schools are all continuing to pay our employees and just find a different way for them to serve our community.
Thank you so much. Great answer, and really great question. Thank you, Charles. Next one's coming from Matt. Matt, you're live. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you. My question is for our teachers. I have two students. One goes to Glen Springs Elementary, and another one of my students goes to Gainesville High School. The elementary school that my first student goes to, his teacher has been just on the ball, awesome, got the class organized, everything is going great. My daughter that goes to high school, though, it seems like those teachers are all over the place in terms of getting organized and getting off the ground. Is there any training or tools that are being given to our teachers to help them manage the uncertainty of the field that they're in now?
Yeah, I'll let Jenny Wise field this, but Jenny, I'll take a moment of personal privilege here, since I'm a teacher and my wife's a teacher. She's an elementary school teacher. I'm a high school teacher out at Santa Fe College in the dual enrollment program. And what I can say is that we're all learning this as we go. I personally had to learn to transition all of my classes from live everyday sections to online in a weekend. Thankfully my students have been very patient, and I've learned a lot, and it's getting better as we go. My wife, same thing. She's teaches fourth grade, has learned a lot, but it's not an ideal situation. So I think every teacher is trying their hardest. Every administrator is supporting their teachers the best they possibly can. Some teachers are going to be more comfortable transitioning to using technology and distance learning, and others are going to have a little bit tougher time, and it's just going to be different for every student and every teacher. So my plea is just to be patient, stick with them, keep in close communication with the teachers, let them know what your needs are, but also realize that this is not normal. This is a triage situation, and everybody's just doing the best they can. Jackie or Jenny from the school board, you want to add to that?
Sure, and I want to thank you for the testimony there, Mayor Poe, for your own and your wife's experience. And I do thank you for the question, Matt. I'm a parent of 2 public school children as well, a middle school and a high schooler, and so they each have 6 teachers. And so between those 12 teachers, we're seeing the continuum of what teachers have ready out of the box day by day, and every single day it gets better. We do have such diversity among our teachers and staff in terms of how comfortable they are in the digital universe, and I want you to know that we are pulling out all of the stops in the curriculum department, in our schools, all of the district staff, technology coaches and mentor coaches, and our curriculum specialists are offering online training, webinars, Q&As, handing them frameworks and scaffolds to work from. But, you know, each teacher does know their students and their content and their courses best, and so they're personalizing and making them just right for their students. And some of them are taking a little more time than others. And some of them, an elementary teacher may teach all the subjects to fewer students, and a high school teacher may teach 1 or 2 subjects, but to many, many more students. So all of those different situations cause us to really be rethinking the way we deliver education, and I do appreciate the mayor also asking for grace and compassion, as our superintendent has been reminding us as we get these set up. We certainly want to establish for every student, with every teacher, a learning environment where they can continue to learn and grow. And I think if you have concerns beyond the next week or so about that, certainly reach out to the administrators at your schools. We provided the very basic bridge curriculum materials to kind of create some space for the teachers to build those personalized learning environments, and some of them will take these first couple of weeks to do that. But I really do appreciate the question, and as a parent, I'm also seeing some of that myself, but I know how hard our teachers are working and how much they're engaging with the training we're offering and putting into creating these classrooms. So I think you're going to see really wonderful things from all of your teachers very, very soon.
Yeah, thank you. And it's, you know, it's so difficult for so many teachers that are used to personal interaction face-to-face with their students every single day to have that taken away from them and have to do that virtually. It really breaks a lot of our hearts to do. I miss my students terribly, even though I'm talking with them pretty much every day, you know, with Zoom and some virtual learning environments. But you know, I think I want to reiterate the point that Ms. Weiss made. An elementary school teacher probably has, you know, between 15 and 18 students, whereas a high school teacher probably is teaching around 125 students and usually several different subjects, different preps. And so it just takes a little more time, I think, for those high school teachers and middle school teachers to be able to build everything out and make it of the quality that they want to make it for the benefit of their students. And so, yeah, I think I heard the words grace, compassion, patience. This is not normal, and none of us should think that what's going on is normal. It's not normal for our businesses. It's not normal for our residents. It's not normal for our first responders. And it's certainly not going to be normal for our students, our teachers, our administrators, or our parents as we try to get, you know, from April 1st to the end of the school year.
Great question there. I really appreciate you asking that and bringing it into the forum. Thanks so much. Our next one's coming from Janelle, who's asked me to read this question. Question is, how are we handling people coming to Gainesville from hotspots like Miami, Orlando, and New York City?
Yeah, we don't check people at the county line. We don't necessarily know where folks are coming from. All we can do here in Alachua County is try to make sure that everybody is being safe, isolating as much as possible, practicing social distancing, In other words, staying away from one another while in public if absolutely necessary. I know the governor has restricted travel from a couple places like New York, but you know, as far as in-state travel, you know, there's just no way, unless there's a complete lockdown of the state, for us to control that and monitor that.
Thank you again, Mayor, and thank you for that question from Janelle. Our next one is going to come from Jessica, and she's got a few questions, so I'll just read them since we're running a little low on time. Jessica's asking, school is supposed to be out May 26th. What is the goal? Are kids going to be automatically bumped to the next grade level, and what happens to struggling students? That was from Jessica.
Okay, probably Jack or Jenny, that's a good question for you from the Alachua County School Board.
Jackie, I can take that. I might need a repeat on the questions there a little bit. In terms of the school year extending past May 31st, I am not understanding that that is something that necessarily will be happen, because technically we're back in school right now. So we have that extended 2-week spring break, but we are back in school even though that looks very different. And yes, the students will be promoted to the next grade. And our seniors will graduate as long as they earned their credits and continue to have a 2.0. The Commissioner of Education has said that if we were still waiting for a standardized test, concordance score, or something like that to graduate, that requirement has lifted for this school year. I think all of our teachers will be grading students with that compassion and grace, and we want our students to learn. And I know at the end, I may not have hit all the questions, but you mentioned what are we doing for our struggling learners, and our struggling learners are at the forefront of everything we're thinking about when it comes to designing this instruction. And like Mayor Poe said, I mean, nothing's really taken the place of when we had those students with us in our classrooms, but we're doing everything we can to the greatest extent possible to replicate that through either virtual learning environments, paper, pencil, packets that we have, making phone calls, contact, and anything we can do to try to keep that learning going, because no one appreciates it. Parents, I appreciate it, and as an educator, I so appreciate how we can't afford to miss a minute or lose a beat when it comes to our academic momentum. So we're working really hard to preserve that. And I hope that answered all of those questions.
Yeah, I think you did. And I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I want to especially thank our two guests from the Alachua County School Board, Alachua County Public Schools, Jenny Wise and Jackie Johnson. We had General Manager Ed Bilarski, County Commission Chair Hutch Hutchinson, Gainesville City Manager Lee Feldman, and earlier we had Alachua County Superintendent Karen Clark with us. We want to encourage people to check the city and county websites at our frequently asked question portal. Any questions that didn't get answered or that come in after this or that get asked on Facebook or other social media, we will post answers as quickly as we possibly can. Commissioner Hutchinson and I would like to challenge all of our neighbors to send in pictures or video of businesses practicing excellent social distancing and excellent business hygiene practices. We want to encourage all of our businesses to do this, and we want to show great examples of ones that are. I know I've been to a few. Fresh Market was doing an excellent job. Sublime Tacos was doing an excellent job when I went there. So if you have those videos or pictures, the Gainesville Sun has agreed to help us with this and publish those for us. And so you can send those to letters@gainesville.com. It's the email address you send letters to the editor to. And Nathan Crabb, the editorial page guru, is going to help with that. So just send those pictures or those videos in of businesses that are doing it right, so we can share those with everybody. We want to thank, there's one other business that I want to thank for going above and beyond. Phalanx Defense Systems has started mass producing hand sanitizer in like 100-gallon batches, and they're also starting to manufacture masks for our community. They normally make personal defense gear, and they transitioned their production almost overnight. And we also have a huge collaboration of community members and neighbors sewing masks at home, getting those out to our healthcare workers and first responders. You can learn more about them at the COVID Gainesville Mutual Aid Facebook page. Again, let me remind everyone to please fill out their 2020 census form. We were $39 million a year down over the last 10 years, $390 million shy of what we should have been if everybody would have filled out their census form. So please go on and do that to help us with education, housing, healthcare facilities, transportation, emergency services, food assistance, and so much more. Remember, this town hall will be archived at the cityofgainesville.org website with closed captioning, and we'll update our frequently asked questions online as well. We'll have more news to share at our next telephone town hall next Wednesday, April 8th at 7:15 p.m. Join us then. Thank you all. Have a good night, and please be safe.